Welcome. And y'all tuned in to another edition of Homage Speaks. Y'all know training camp is right around the corner. We get real close. Less than about a week and a half away from the beginning of the real season, the NFL season. And what better way to jump off the NFL discussion by talking about the top 10 quarterbacks in the game of football right now. Who is it going to be? Matty Snowcone? Let's be respectful. Matty Ice? Tom Terrific? And Mr. Rogers coming to a neighborhood near you? Let's find out on this edition of Homage Speaks. Number 10 on our countdown, former Heisman Trophy winner and 2015 MVP Cam Newton. Cam Newton is coming off probably arguably the worst season of his career in the NFL, but let's be clear, he has some nagging injuries, and I look forward to him this season bouncing back and becoming the player that we all know him to be. Cam Newton did have one bright spot last season. Last season, he was blitzed the second most in the NFL inside the red zone. And inside the red zone, Cam Newton, 14 of his 19 touchdowns that he threw and 0 of his interceptions that he threw last year came inside the red zone. Cam Newton, you did a miraculous job in the red zone and the money zone for your team, but now you got to improve in other aspects of your game, and we cannot sit here and act like your talent is to be denied. And that's why you're number 10 on the countdown. Number 9 on the countdown. This man needs no introduction, but for those who don't know, Offensive Rookie of the Year, Dak Prescott is number 9 on the countdown. Let's run it down, man. Let's talk about that. Dak Prescott was number 4 in the NFL in game-winning drives, number 3 in the NFL in comeback victories, and he was number 3 in QBR, and this man is only a rookie. That is amazing. 3,667 yards, 23 touchdowns, 4 picks, 6 rushing TDs, and completing 67% of your passes as being the first time you've ever seen an NFL field is nothing short of amazing, and homage is due. But let's not act like Dak Prescott is not wise beyond his years. The way he's able to read defenses and is a student of the game is to be commended, and we look forward to seeing him next season go to work. And Cowboy Nation, I know you're proud, I know you're ready, but Dak, you got to lead that charge. You got the line, you got the running back, you got the receiver, you got to build the defense. Time to take that team to the next level. Get them back to the glory days. Do what Tony Romo couldn't do, and that's get them where they need to go. Because everybody know, last season, Tony Romo went down. They had to look at Dak Prescott. Y'all didn't know what y'all was getting. But let me be clear, I knew what you was getting. Dak Prescott went to Mississippi State. Mississippi State only been good 2 times in my life. Once with Dak Prescott, and once with the legendary, rest in peace to the great Atlanta-owned Nick Turner. Outside of them 2 years right there, garbage. Number 8 on my countdown. University of Georgia's own Matthew Stafford. Why I got Matthew Stafford on here? Well, y'all do know the Detroit Lions made the playoffs last year. They went 9-7. Let me run down Matt Stafford for y'all. Coming off a season when he lost Megatron, arguably one of the top 10, top 5 receivers to ever pick up a ball. We will revisit that man later on in Homage Speaks. But just be clear here, they had 9 wins. Matt Stafford led the NFL in game-winning drives. You know how many they had? 8. Matt Stafford led the league in game-winning drives. He led the league in game-winning comebacks. Guess how many he had? 8. So you're trying to tell me, out of the 9 wins they got, Matt Stafford led 8 of them? Now let's be clear, comeback had to have with some turnovers and defensive stop. But you also got to put up a point. Matt Stafford gets credit for that. Because if he didn't do it, he got credit for them losses. But let's be clear, Matt Stafford, number 8 in the league, coming off a very efficient year, 4,300 yards, 24 TDs, 10 interceptions, and just earned the highest contract in the history of pro football for the quarterback position. Matt Stafford, number 8 on the countdown. Number 7 on the countdown, Mr. Luck himself, Andrew Luck, coming off a stellar season. 4,200 yards, 31 touchdowns, 13 interceptions, completing 63% of his passes. Also went deep for 11 touchdowns, tied with Matt Ryan for number 2 in the league in deep passes for the TDs. Now, we know he coming off surgery and a torn labrum, but we will assume that surgery It was going to help him go back to playing at the All-Pro level and the Pro Bowl level that he's more than well capable of. Andrew Luck is a dual-threat quarterback. He can run it, he can throw it, he can sit in the pocket, get big, and make strikes down the field. T.Y. Hilton just earned #1 receiving yards in the league for the first time in the history of his career, and that's because he was coming out of that right hand of that Andrew Luck. Look for Andrew Luck and the Indianapolis Colts to do well in their division and come back and get what's theirs and be the top of that division once again. Number 6 on the countdown, Big Benjamin. Y'all know who he is. Big Ben Roethlisberger. Let's talk about him. Well, let me go ahead and tell you, he led the league in deep passes with touchdowns. That means that big arm go deep and it go deep often. And guess what? He didn't even have his main deep threat. That is amazing. Also, y'all got to understand how valuable Big Ben was to this team. When he came back, they went on a playoff run, and it was one game away from the Super Bowl because they had their leader, the captain, and he was out there slinging the rock and doing what he had to do. The 3 Bs, before it was Lonzo Ball, it was the 3 Bs, Ben, Brown, and Bell, out there working and getting it done. 3,800 yards, 29 TDs, 13 interceptions in a season that he didn't even play all the games. For some quarterbacks, that's their whole season. The Big Ben, nah, man, that's just only a little bit what I can do. What I do is I get to the Super Bowl. What I do is I try to get my team to the Super Bowl and get the wins. And be clear, Steeler Nation got something to be proud of. A Big Ben and company, it look like they're going to be ready to come back again. Number 5 on the countdown, the Russ guard, Russell Wilson. Oh yeah, y'all think RW only stood for Russell Westbrook? No sir. We got an RW in the game of football too, and it's Russell Wilson. Yeah, he got his wife on his arm. Yeah, he got his kid. He good to go. But let me go ahead and let you know, on that football field, Russell Wilson take care of business. He's a leader. He's a dual threat. He's a warrior. He get it done. He's coming off back-to-back 4,000-yard season. Led his team to the playoffs again, and he had a career high in passing yards with 4,219 yards. I mean, you ask Russell to do it, and he gets it done. Hopefully this season he looks to bounce back and have another stellar performance after they moved on from the Marshawn Lynch era, possibly moving on from the Richard Sherman era and the Legion of Boom. It's going to be up to Russell Wilson to lead his division and continue to be the best quarterback in that division and get that team back to the playoffs. Oh man, number 4 on the countdown, my guy, the legendary Drew Brees. Now I know some gonna debate it. No disrespect to Tom, Joe, Dan Marino, who I think is one of the, if not the most gifted passer in the game of football. John Elway. No disrespect, Peyton Manning, no disrespect to none of y'all. But Drew Brees is my favorite quarterback of all time. Why you say that, DB? Well, he ain't do nothing last year but lead the league in passing yards. Second in the NFL in completions. He threw for 5,208 yards. 70% of his passes were completed. Oh my goodness. He led the league in completions and you led the league in attempts. I shot the ball more than everybody and I made more than everybody. That ain't Kobe greatness. That's Drew Brees greatness. I'm trying to let y'all know. He also was the leader of the #1 total offense in football. Now we all seen the Dirty Birds, my squad, doing what they do and do it well. But they still didn't put up more yards than them Saints. Because when they go marching, they usually go marching in. And that's because of their leader, Drew Brees. AKA Mr. 5,000. Number 4 on the countdown. Number 3 on the countdown, Matt Ryan. Oh yeah, y'all know him. Formerly known as Matthew Ryan. Now he's Matty Ice. It's official. NFL MVP from last season, coming off the best season of his life. Completing 69.9% of his passes, 4,944 yards, 38 touchdowns, 7 interceptions, and became one of the most unstoppable forces in the game today due to hard work and perseverance. Matt Ryan made us all proud, and I, for one, has usually been a Matt Ryan critic, but I salute you, sir. I always question that Joe Homer, y'all. Y'all remember that game? He had to throw the ball Hail Mary from the 50-yard line and then he didn't reach the goal line. But guess what Matt Ryan did? He said, D-Burst, I got you. It's time to work. It's time to put in the game. And it's time to put in the time to improve my game. And guess what he did? He went from one of the worst deep ball passes in the game to the #1 deep ball passer in the game in efficiency. When Matt Ryan dialed it up, past 20 yards down the field, he's going to connect. Matt Ryan, we look forward to you building up on your success in 2016 and getting the Falcons back to where they need to be and get back to that Super Bowl. It's going to be tough, but you're going to have to duplicate your performance or get close to it to climb up the ladder. Because these next two, they got you, boss. Even though you took care of number 2 head-to-head, he's still a better player than you, sir. But I hope you have something to say about it. Number 2 on the countdown. Y'all know who he is. Mr. Discount Double Check himself. Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers. What more can Aaron Rodgers do? Just lead the league in touchdown passes. I mean, he in the pocket. He out the pocket. Step back up in the pocket. Sling the rock. Run the rock. He does it all for the football team. He told y'all to relax, kick back. He got it, and he led his team to the NFC Championship game and went through some great football teams to get there. Went through the Giants, who the Giants got a squad coming back next season, and they also went through the Dallas Cowboys. But he couldn't run up against that juggernaut, the Atlanta Falcons. Man, he did all that without a running game. Can you believe that? He completed 10 different touchdown passes to 10 different people. That is amazing. Shout out to Tim Montgomery for being one of those receivers that stepped up in that running back position, showed that he is a football player and the versatility is real. Tim Montgomery, we salute you here. Homage is due and homage is paid. And Aaron Rodgers, oh man, there's nothing more that man can't do on the football field. Arguably the best quarterback the game has ever seen. I mean, they put him in the lab. He sat behind Brett Favre for a few years, and when he came out, goodness gracious, he came out an animal. Robo QB is not Tom Marinovich. It's Aaron Rodgers. Number 1 on the countdown. Man, what more can we say about the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. I'm not supposed to be here, Michigan Wolverines own Tom Brady. Tom Brady was suspended for the deflate gate, and what he do? He said, I got cases on all you. Ooh, light them up, Tom, he said. 3,500 yards, 67.4% completion percentage, 28 touchdowns to 2 interceptions. One thing I can tell y'all about Tom Brady, he's a student of this game. He is beating you not off his athletic ability, but off his mind. Everybody always talk about Peyton Manning mind. You don't want to talk about Tom's. Because let me tell you something about Tom Brady. Tom Brady versus the blitz last year was number 2 in the NFL behind Andy Dalton. I don't know how Andy D got first in this. Shout out to Andy D. Maybe you need to get blitzed the whole game so you can play good the whole game. But anyway, Tom Brady, 105.8 passer rating versus the blitz. So that means if you blitz me, I'm lining you up. If you don't blitz me, I'm lining you up. Somewhat unguardable, don't you think? But let's be clear here. That Super Bowl performance that he did against the Atlanta Falcons will arguably go down as one of, if not the greatest quarterback performance in the history of the game. The way Tom Brady led his troops and led his team back in the second half was unbelievable. I mean, I seen Jordan in Game 6. He was not to be denied. He was not losing. Whatever play that team needed to make, he made it. Whatever throw that needed to be made, it was there on time. They followed the lead of the captain, and the captain led them to victory. Make no mistake, Tom Brady entering age 40 in life, the number 1 player in the NFL, and the number 1 player on this countdown. Whew. I know some smoke in the city out there. I mean, I know it's out there with their favorite quarterbacks for their respective teams, not on this list. Phillip Rivers, no. Andy Dalton, no. James Winston, no. Derek Carr, no. Colin Kaepernick, Ryan Tannehill, no. There's some good players in the position. That's one of the deepest, if not the deepest position in the NFL. Marcus Mariota, I'm sorry, brother. You got some more work to do to me. Win your division before you come talk to me, because Andrew Luck is coming. He coming. Alex Smith, when you get in the playoff, man, throw a deep ball down the field before we can put you on this list. I'm tired of seeing you just get regular season win and be Mr. Conservative. Eli Manning, 2-time champion, Super Bowl MVP. He ain't make my list, bro. You want to know why you ain't make my list? Because I feel like you the reason y'all don't get it done when it's time. Well, let's go. Blame Odell. Blame your receivers for dropping the ball. But guess what? You ain't going to have that issue this year. I promise you that. B. Marshall going to catch everything you throw. Odell working hard. He better be ready to catch everything you throw. Eli Manning, it's your time. It's your time to show everybody who watches the game of football that you're the best man in the house. And with that being said, this marks another edition of Homage Speaks.